All right, welcome to the Star Goddess Podcast and the Crash and AJ blog at 98rock.com. We do this every Monday. It's supposed to drop right before noon. I know as the guy in charge, I know I've screwed that up a couple times, but it's supposed to drop right before noon here at 98rock.com. So good morning, ladies.
Good morning, and hopefully you'll be avoiding the doghouse today.
Yes.
Not having any listeners emailing us, hey, where's the podcast, Crash?
Man, that's his way in the doghouse.
The good news is about this: people are rabid when it's not up there on time. I can tell you that. So that's a good sign. Star Goddess here every Mondays, 98 Rock, with AJ and I, and so the podcast here goes over. We can expand on some of the stuff we were brief on the radio. Star Goddess, what's the theme today?
Yeah. The theme is we're at the new moon today. It's the new moon in Cancer, which always means new starts, and then on Wednesday, the sun goes into Leo, so we have two new things going on. And I think it's important to know what areas of your life you can start new stuff in and expect to be successful with it. That's the big challenge. So for Cancers, and again, I just keep thinking this is good for the United States because we're a Cancer. I think Cancers finally get it together, knowing what it is that they want to do. Over the last 2 years or so, they've tried to make a bunch of changes. They started, they stopped. It was fits and starts, and now they know what they need to do in order, and now they just need to do it. And the objective of all of this is to take personal initiatives and make more money, because the sun in Leo is in their second house of money. So it's what does the Cancer need to do in order to increase the amount of money at the end of their month, rather than the amount of month at the end of their money. And they're going to have to, and I think a lot of that has to do with the end of July bringing the end of the extended unemployment. And so I think they're going to have to take action and do something about it. So I don't think that that's a bad thing for them, because they finally see their way clear to do it. They know what they need to do, and now they just need to pull the trigger on it, kind of a deal. So that's not a bad thing, I think, for Cancers. Leo.
I wish that there was actually we could come up with a birth date for COVID, so we could figure out what's going on with COVID in the stars. Because I mean, it's like one of those things where we've heard you making calls on cars knowing the born on date. If we knew the date of COVID, that'd probably be amazing information right there.
It's actually interesting that you say that, because there was an eclipse the day after Christmas on the Cancer-Capricorn axis, and that's the first time that there was any kind of a report in China about the COVID virus. And then 2 weeks later, at the following eclipse in January, is when you saw it in the New York Times saying they're reporting some sort of crazy new flu coming out. So my guess is it's a Capricorn Cancer kind of thing. And that also, in that case, that really bodes well for getting a treatment. We've had some good news about vaccines in the last couple of days or so, but I think the bigger thing is a treatment. And I think that we are on the bubble. I think the next 3 weeks or so brings about an effective treatment, so that if you do get it, you're not necessarily going to die, and it's not going to necessarily take you out forever. So I think that that's probably the good news with that. So I'm kind of excited about that. For Leos, they have had to kind of stay in the background for the last month or so. Cancer is always the end of their solar year. They don't have any energy. They don't have any vitality. Women are making demands on them. People are making demands on them, and they're kind of acquiescing to, because they just don't want to end up in the doghouse. They don't want to, they don't know really what to do, so they haven't done anything. Well, that all changes on Wednesday when the sun enters their sign.
Wednesday.
And that empowers them. Yeah, on Wednesday. That empowers them, that fires them up, and that gives them the wherewithal to confront people they need to confront, to take action they need to take, to gratify the Leo. The Leo's been kind of bending over backwards trying to gratify other people. Leos and Leo rising.
All this bending over backwards stuff has just got my back so sore.
Yeah, they're done with it. Come Wednesday, they're done with that. It's going to be the Leo's way or the highway.
Wednesday's my day. All right.
Yeah.
Nice.
It is. That's the day that Leos just go, that's all I can stand. I can't stand no more. Like Popeye. They're going to, pop a can of spinach and just kind of level a place. And I think that's good. I think Leos are one of the few signs that don't do well in the background.
Right.
They need to be the out front person. So they have swallowed their words the last month or so, and that's done. So it's time for Leos to come on out and be empowered and show the world what they're made of. So I don't think that's a bad thing, to tell you the truth.
Also got to monitor that other 13-year-old Leo in the house there.
Oh, yes, the flash of Leo.
What does that
mean?
This guy.
I'm pretty sure you are the one that's going to prevail.
All right, nice.
I think you're the Leo.
It's good.
The reason I say that, I think you're the Leo with the pocketbook. So
it's
that
probably
tends to give you the hammer. Not only are you bigger and stronger, but I think you control the money, and the young Leo is likely to be aware of that.
It's been eating out is the thing. When we get to choose that once a week eat out thing, it's the deciding between him and I that gets a little dicey. So knowing that I'm going to win is going to be a good conversation to have with him.
You are going to win.
Nice.
You, old age and treachery will overcome youth and exuberance every day.
Triumph.
So, that's right.
There you go. Let that roar out, buddy. Let it out.
That's right. That's right. No, they will find out really quick who is the king of that castle, because Leos are the king. So, and he might be a prince, but he's not the king. So,
right.
For Virgos, this energy, the Virgos are trying very hard to get the group to do what the Virgo wants them to do. And the Virgo doesn't really want to appear openly manipulative, which is very unusual, because Virgos make no bones about being the most manipulative sign of the zodiac. But Virgos everywhere need to take a step back and kind of regroup and kind of take a look at their plan. They've gotten all of the things that they've asked for over the last 2 years or so. And now they have to figure out, number one, do I really want it? Am I okay with the way it has worked out? And they need to kind of take a step back and review it all to make sure they want to continue on that same path. And I think that answer will be yes, but they do need a little bit of introspection, a little bit of reflection to make sure that their egos have not gotten out of control, out of check, because they can be. Virgos get very demanding. It's like, oh, we're right. So, we're right. We get what we want. It's like, yeah, no. I even found myself doing that. I found myself in Walmart the other day looking for, I turned into a Karen. And thank God I stopped myself. Thank God I stopped myself before it got carried away. But I found myself looking for a manager because I wanted to complain. Why did I have to walk across the whole store to go pick up something at the pickup window?
Did you say it? Did you say, where's my man? Did you get to say, where's your manager?
As soon as I got the words, where is your... And then I realized, oh, my God, you're a Karen. Holy God. And I apologized and walked out. It's just like, oh, no, this is awful.
Those are the magic words. Where's your manager? Can I speak with your manager?
Yeah, exactly. As soon as I started to utter them, and it was like, you lost your mind. And clearly I had.
Yeah, my name is Janet, not Karen.
Yes,
which, by the way,
Karen, let me get out of here and apologize profusely for even starting to say those words.
Well, we've got a video right now. Just click back over to the Crash and AJ page. You'll see it. Remember the videos of the 1990s, the girls gone wild, the girls going crazy and showing their boobies? Well, somebody has now made a parody of that with the Karens. Karens gone wild. So some of the viral videos you've seen and some other gems you might not have seen before, you'll be able to take a peek at that one in the style of Girls Gone Wild.
Great. There, but for the grace of God go I. For Libras, this energy, top of their chart, 10th house of career and public standing. And this is, they have tried very, very hard to make a name for themselves over the last 2 years or so professionally. And now they find out whether or not that works one way or the other. And they're Libras everywhere are looking to their male friends and colleagues for support. And I can't help but think that Kamala Harris is hoping to be the new vice president because she's a Libra deal too. So, but in the next step for Libras are the group is going to have to back their play. Now that they've gotten the promotion or the increase in responsibility, they're going to look to the group to support that for them. And they're likely to get it, which is a good thing. So, and I think it's their male friends rather than their female friends come through for them. So, and again, I think that's interesting because she's waiting on that phone call from Joe Biden, which takes me to,
It's going to be interesting to see how that whole thing goes down because it looks like there's some pretty, the choices he has are some seriously, they're blue chippers. All of them are, yeah.
They are. And that makes a big difference as to whether he gets elected or not. It's not just him; it's who he picks. So, I don't think that's a very enviable position to be in. That he has to pick the best one, and I would try and find a way to incorporate all of those guys into my administration.
Yeah, true.
I would try and find a way to be very inclusive with that. And my personal thought is Kamala Harris would be wasted as vice president. She'd make a much better attorney general. She'd scare everybody. But that's not my call, thank God. For Scorpios, this energy is in the 9th house as well. Legal matters, educational matters, important matters in addition. Travel plans come to be for Scorpio, even though the rest of the signs aren't traveling. Scorpio's going, I got to go somewhere. I can't just stay here. And they need to do that because their focus is going to change into career and public standing, into they're going to be in the professional spotlight for one way or another. They have to be really, really careful because there's going to be like a magnifying glass looking at Scorpios.
Okay.
And they have to be careful not to make any missteps.
I'm glad. You know what? It just reminds me of something. I had to bring this up because isn't it O.J. Howard a Scorpio?
My favorite Scorpio, yes, he is. And they need to either play him or try. And I got to tell you something. I think he's a magnificent athlete. And I was so shocked last year that we didn't utilize him because I thought he would be able to communicate so effectively with Jameis Winston being a Capricorn.
Right.
Scorpio and Capricorn get along great. Of course, they've traded him. Now Tom Brady's a Leo, and Leos and Scorpios don't get along that well. And I'm not so sure that Brian Leftwich really likes him. And if I was O.J. Howard, I would beg to be traded to the Saints.
Oh, my gosh.
I would.
He's my fantasy players in the doghouse, right? It's National Get Out of the Doghouse Day. And for me, O.J. Howard's in my doghouse because I expect him to score. I just got to think he's going to have a good year. But you think he should be traded, huh?
I don't know that they're going to utilize him the way he should be utilized for his amazing talent.
Okay.
That's what I think.
Right.
So, and I think, and that would also, I would laugh so hard when the Saints come to town and then, clobber us with our own players. Because they've done that before. We have a long history of treating our quarterbacks badly, sending them somewhere else, and then they come back and win a Super Bowl or kick our butts on national TV, one of the two. And I think that'll probably happen this year, too, if the season comes off. So, but I think for Scorpios everywhere, their focus right now is how can I shine? What do I need to do to really shine, to make a big difference in my public image?
Maybe he's trying to impress Tom Brady right now, shining in practice right now. Hopefully, maybe that's the whole mission right there.
I don't even think it's Tom Brady. He's got to impress Byron Leftwich, the offensive coordinator. He's the guy that figures out who's going to go in. So, and I'm not sure what's wrong. I don't understand why that doesn't work. I know that Byron Leftwich got a moon in Aquarius, and they don't really like Scorpios. But, I mean, I could look by that. If I've got a slugger on my team, even if I don't like her, I'm going to put her in at 4.
Yeah.
All right. Because I want to win. I think if you want to win, you'd play him. But what do I know? The Bucs had, in the history of being in Tampa Bay, they have never once listened to me. So I don't really think that they're going to start now. For Sagittarius, although their wives do, the husbands do not. With Sagittarians, this energy, Sagittarians are trying to find a way to maximize their existing resources. They don't want to look for new resources. They're like, look, I got plenty of stuff on my plate. How do I go ahead and capitalize on what I already have going on? What do I need to do? And there's some sort of contract or negotiation or some kind of paperwork thing that is just starting this week for the Sagittarian. And it may take a good 30 days to play out, but at the end of it, they can come up with a pretty decent contract for themselves and cut themselves a pretty good deal. That ends up making them a boatload of money, which makes everybody happy. So
the Sagittarius in me likes this.
Yeah, that's your rising sign. Yeah. So this is a resource you've already kind of created, and you probably created it over the last few years or so.
Gotcha.
And now it's time to go, okay, now I need to get paid for it. Now I need to find a way to turn that into a money-making venture. And I think that over the next 30 days, you'll be able to do that. So
all right.
That's the cool thing being a Sagittarius or a Sag rising. Nice. For Capricorns, they are really tired of people yelling at them. People have been pointing the finger at Capricorn for the last month or so, going, you, and they've had it with that. They're over it. So I think everywhere Capricorns are going to take a little bit of a step back and try and figure out who is with them and who is against them, because it's sort of hard to tell without a scorecard who is with you and who is against you.
Yeah.
And I think that they just need to take a step back and regroup, maybe even take a beat or a breath while they do it. Because they have been, I don't want to say attacked, but they feel like they feel like it's personal. I don't think it's personal. I think it's environmental or.
I think of, when you say that, I think of Drew Brees. Drew Brees, a month ago, had that misstep with the statement about where he wouldn't kneel with the flag, and he's been kind of attacking him ever since, and now he's starting to shine with all the other players and trying to get some direction for the NFL for COVID era right now.
Yes. Good idea just to step back and be supportive without being overt with it. So, and I think it's nice that other people are going to take the heat that he's been taking. So, for Aquarians, I have such a terrible time predicting them. But the new moon is in their 6th house of work, so it just starts with work, service, and responsibilities. This is not a particularly glamorous time for them. It's not like, ooh, look at how fabulous I am. It's more along the lines of Just do your job to the best of your ability. And rather than going, look at me, if they do their job to the best of their ability, they will be noticed. They will get the recognition they want as this month goes on. So it's sort of it's almost like a pay your dues kind of a time.
Gotcha.
Pay your dues, do the job, and then, you'll be able to go forward with it because it will speak for itself. The job that you do will speak for itself.
And you can't. Just a lot of people got to realize that you can't. There's some things in life that you just cannot skip steps. You have to step every step. There's no, in the learning process, you can't skip any steps, or you're not going to be as good as what you would have been if you taken all the steps. That makes any sense.
Patience.
Yep.
Patience. That is another key word, too, because I know this is such a society nowadays where everything we want instantaneously, super fast, let's get her done. But there's a lot of things, man, that just take time. And it takes time to get that level and to get that, for people to see that you're paying your dues and that you really are knowledgeable and to make that final step. So definitely practice patience.
Yeah. Yep. And to let it speak for itself. Let the effort speak for itself. That's the hardest thing to do, because you want to draw attention to yourself. Go, me, notice me. And in this particular case, the work will speak for itself. For Pisces, this energy, it's great energy for Pisces. Pisces has come through a very creative time. They have genuinely kind of felt the love in a real, tangible manner. And they found something over the last 2 years that they've absolutely fallen in love with. And this month, they get to see if they can turn that avocation into a vocation, because it goes to the axiom of, do what you love and the money will follow kind of a deal. Happiness comes from finding what it is you enjoy doing and doing it to the best of your ability. And then when you do what you love, the money will follow. So Pisces has spent the last few years trying to figure out what is it that they love. And now that they know that, in no uncertain terms, now they want to find out is, can they make it work for them? Can they make money off it? Can they turn a hobby into a job? Which would not be a bad thing for them at all.
It's funny you said this because I was talking to my son. We were on a drive out to look for shark's teeth out in Venice the other day, and it was a good opportunity for us to talk about. I said, "Hey, have you been thinking about anything as far as career wise that you would be interested in?" And he told me that right off the bat, he was like, "I was thinking about maybe selling houses." I was like, "Wow, I did not see that coming at all."
Wow,
Leos are great at sales.
Yeah, I was like, wow, okay, well,
that's awesome.
So yeah, I said, the point was, I said you got to love what you do. So I said, why are you selling houses? Well, I heard they make a lot of money. I told him, well, if it's not always the money. If you're happy with what you're doing, you got a passion for what you're doing, the money will come. You'll do such a great job. You'll be so good at what that you're doing that the money will come. That's my belief anyway.
Leos can sell ice to Eskimos. I absolutely love them in sales. Yeah, absolutely. In every sense of the word, they're fabulous in sales.
Yeah, I thought I was going to say astronaut or football player, something. But it was sell houses. So like, wow, it's pretty smart. I want to sell houses too, actually.
All right, gotta like that. Okay, go Leos. I like that a lot. For Aries, this energy is in their fourth house of home, their home foundations. They have spent 2 years trying to organize their home, either remodel their home, refurbish their home, do something to their home to make it safe and secure, and to make it to be where it is that they want it to be. And now that that's done, they want to have a good time while doing it. I guess maybe they want to enjoy what it is that they've done, and find a way to really indulge themselves. This is Aries' favorite time of year to play. It's their favorite time of year to fall in love. It's their favorite time of year just to have a good time. And I think that they're, even in spite of the coronavirus, they will find a way to recreate inside of the coronavirus. And I had to laugh. We had a call earlier from two Aries. They want to know about having a casual coronavirus relationship. Right. That's what I mean. They're just looking for a good time. It's their favorite time of year.
It was the lady that was initiating this. She was wanting to know if her neighbor was going to be compatible for a casual sexual relationship.
Yes.
So
and
times are changing, dude.
That's where the energy is. You cannot fight the energy. For Tauruses, they are trying to figure out the pace of their day-to-day living. They've had a bunch of changes in not what they do, but the schedule that they do it with. And they're finding that they can really incorporate that into their living, and it makes their day-to-day living easier. But starting on Wednesday, they're going to figure out okay, now how does this impact my home and my foundations? They're going to turn their attention to their home, the physical home that they live in, and either make some sort of changes to that or find a way to remodel it or refurbish it, but spend some money on their home and foundations are what Tauruses are going to do over the next month or so, and that starts for them Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday.
Now does this mean
day-to-day living?
Does this mean that it'd also be maybe an opportune time to purchase a home then too, if you're going in that route?
It would be. It would be a good time to do that. It would be a good time to look around for a home that they may want to do that with. Now that you have a clear understanding of what your day-to-day obligations and responsibilities are, you will be able to go ahead and find a way to, now that that's settled, you can then make a decision on your home where you want to live and what you want to do. So that's good news too. And then for Geminis, the last time we were talking about, it is about the money. It's about how can Geminis make more money? And as a result of that, it's not making money for money's sake, although God bless Kanye West, he's good at doing that. It's a matter of taking that show on the road. Yeah. It's a matter of short distance, short duration travel. It's about reaching a broader audience with your world. It's about reorganizing your daily living to make it something easier for you to manage, if that makes sense. So that's what's going on with those guys too. So
artists, a lot of artists in that group of people there, or is that?
There are a lot of Geminis are the most creative people in the zodiac. They have 9, 10, 11, 12 things going at the same time.
Right.
And they're very, very good at being creative. They have Leo on the third house of day-to-day living, so they polish their words like little gems for people to admire. They are. They're very loquacious. Donald Trump's a Gemini. Kanye West. We need another Gemini running for president. Yeah, we don't have enough with Donald Trump.
The face that I was thinking of another face when you were talking about that sign, and it's just funny how these different people in your life's faces pop up when you talk about the stars. You're like, oh, this reminds me of that person. This reminds me of that person. So it's always a good, fascinating conversation with Star Goddess. Did we have any either emails we were going to throw today?
Well, yeah. Earlier we were talking about how it's National Get Out of the Doghouse Day, and we've got one here from Jerry who messaged us, and she's in the doghouse with her husband right now, and she just wants to know, is she on the right track or is she just on another planet in general? She says, "I'm trying to finish my master's degree in the next few weeks. I'm so far behind, and I'm getting so much grief from my husband. He's about ready to leave. Did I screw up going down this path?" Her birth date is 12/21/63. She says, "I hate to think I've wasted 5 years of school for nothing." Oh.
She is a Sagittarius. She absolutely should not quit. Absolutely should not quit. She's right on that Sagittarius Capricorn cusp.
Is she really in danger of losing her husband on this thing, though?
Her husband, you know what? Her husband is whining and moaning that she's not paying enough attention to him. So the best solution for this is have sex in the morning. Get it out. That's really what he's complaining about.
Sex in the morning tends to fix a lot. I've heard you talking about
this
before.
It solves a lot of problems. I got to tell you, I've had more than one client that go, "How can I fix my marriage?" It's like, have sex in the morning. He goes, "What do you mean?" Dude, it won't take that long. You got to take a shower anyway. And they go to work happy, and they don't cheat on you when you do that. At night, I don't know. At night, we work. We've got kids, jobs, a lot of responsibilities, folding laundry. A lot of women look at 10 o'clock at night and go, "Dude, that's like another chore." When in the morning, you just go, "Sure, I won't even wake up." I was married to a fighter pilot. He was up, he was up early in the morning, and a lot of times I didn't even notice. It's like, yeah, okay, bye. I just think it solves a lot of problems. It's easy to do.
You're talking up in more ways than one is what you're saying. Okay, I got you. Sex in the morning fixes a lot of stuff, guys. All right.
It does indeed. Women, this is to women, not men. Because men always ask. This is to women, and just say yes.
There you
Literally,
go.
the guy will look at you and go, "This won't take very long," and it doesn't. Yeah, and everybody's happy.
Lift that little soundbite from you right there on this Monday. Get out of the doghouse day. All right,
that's right. That's how you do it.
All the questions we had, right, AJ?
That's it.
All right.
Good to go.
There you go. Another episode of the Star Goddess podcast. We drop those on the Crash and AJ blog every Monday right around noon on 98rock.com.